Welcome back to Ngong TV and our brand new series, Must-Read Stories.
After the intense sunset kiss, Kwang Min is flushed and silent in the car, turning away to hide her embarrassment. Tan Fong notices her shyness and smiles to himself. He asks her to play music, and she selects a Cantonese song, A Maiden's Prayer. When the lyrics mention a wish for 10 more minutes to kiss, Tan Fong looks at her, pleased that she showed no resistance to their physical intimacy. After the intense sunset kiss, Kwang Min is flushed and silent in the car, turning away to hide her embarrassment. Tan Fong notices her shyness and smiles to himself. He asks her to play music, and she selects a Cantonese song, A Maiden's Prayer. When the lyrics mention a wish for 10 more minutes to kiss, Tan Fong looks at her, pleased that she showed no resistance to their physical intimacy. Back home, after dinner and a bath where she nearly falls asleep, Kwang Min gets into bed. Tan Fong, still teasing her, asks, "Wife, do you want to kiss me?" As he leans over her, caging her with his arms, Kwang Min panics and pulls the blanket over her face, pleading, "Senior, don't make it difficult for me." He laughs and playfully kisses the wedding ring on her finger before retreating. She emerges from the blanket, still embarrassed, and explains seriously that physical intimacy should be gradual, unlike the forced kisses of a photo shoot. That night, Tan Fong dreams of her warmly reciprocating his kisses, and when he wakes, he throws the rabbit to the floor and pulls her into his arms, kissing her cheek several times. Back home, after dinner and a bath where she nearly falls asleep, Kwang Min gets into bed. Tan Fong, still teasing her, asks, "Wife, do you want to kiss me?" As he leans over her, caging her with his arms, Kwang Min panics and pulls the blanket over her face, pleading, "Senior, don't make it difficult for me." He laughs and playfully kisses the wedding ring on her finger before retreating. She emerges from the blanket, still embarrassed, and explains seriously that physical intimacy should be gradual, unlike the forced kisses of a photo shoot. That night, Tan Fong dreams of her warmly reciprocating his kisses, and when he wakes, he throws the rabbit to the floor and pulls her into his arms, kissing her cheek several times. Kwang Min turns to face the girl with a composed smile. "So what?" She lies effortlessly, declaring, "I love him to death. It is my honor, and I am extremely happy that he is using me." Suddenly, Tan Fong's voice cuts in from behind her. He had overheard the entire exchange. With a wicked smile and a teasing tone, he steps forward, takes her by the shoulder, and kisses her cheek right in front of the stunned Song Tianhui. "Wife," he drawls, "such words of affection should only be spoken to your husband. It's bad luck for someone like her to hear them." He then pulls the flustered Kwang Min away, saying, "Let's go home, where you can slowly tell me the rest of those sweet nothings." Tan Fong had gone up to the university building to pick up Kwang Min and overheard Song Tianhui's taunts. He was initially frustrated but then paused when he heard Kwang Min's apathetic, machine-like declaration of undying love for him. He realized she was lying but was deeply pleased and touched by her defense, even if it was just to shut down an enemy. After he dramatically kissed her and led her away, Kwang Min, thoroughly flustered, felt compelled to clarify as they walked, "I said that to anger that girl, it wasn't true." She stressed that she didn't even like him, much less love him to death, and that she would not be offering him any sweet nothings at home. Tan Fong was momentarily stung but quickly put his hand in his pocket and changed the subject. He asked, "Wife, do you believe that affection can grow slowly?" When she looked confused, he leaned down, holding her hand, and said, "I do. What you feel now is just your present emotion. It doesn't mean you'll never like me later." He asserted that he would work hard to cultivate their relationship so they could genuinely fall in love, asking her to cooperate. He then offered to share some sweet nothings and recited 2 famous, romantic Chinese quotes, leaving her speechless. Before they got into the car, Tan Fong showed her a small bouquet of baby's breath he had placed on the passenger seat, a gesture she genuinely appreciated. As she thanked him, he stopped her and made a playful threat, "This is how it is, wife. If you thank or apologize to me again, I will kiss you. One kiss for every word." The following Friday, Tan Fong informs Kwang Min that on the 15th of every month, all members of the Tan family must gather at the main house for a meal, which happens to be tomorrow. He suggests canceling their wedding shoot so she won't be exhausted, warning her she needs energy to deal with the family. Kwang Min calmly replies she's already aware of the family politics, the internal rivalry between his two uncles, Bak Ca and Bak Hai, and the subtle animosity between their sons, Tan Yao and Tan Hao. Impressed by her insight, Tan Fong leans close and whispers that the cousins' rivalry is over a woman. She is shocked by the melodrama. Later that night, as they are about to sleep, Kwang Min, affected by the family drama, asks him a serious question: "If you could only choose one between love and kinship, which would you choose?" Tan Fong answers without hesitation, "Love." "I'm the type to lean toward emotion." Kwang Min falls silent. To her, this confirms that if the person he likes were to appear, he would abandon her, his legal wife, who is merely considered a relative by marriage, without a second thought. She turns her back to him, hugs her stuffed rabbit tight, and bids him good night, unaware that in his heart, she is the person he loves. The next morning, Kwang Min wakes up in Tan Fong's arms again. Recalling his confession that he prioritizes love over kinship, she decides they should not nurture their relationship, fearing the pain of divorce later. When they prepare to leave for the shoot, she pulls her hand away. Tan Fong notices her distress. She explains that continuing to build their relationship feels unnecessary. The next morning, Kwang Min wakes up in Tan Fong's arms again. Recalling his confession that he prioritizes love over kinship, she decides they should not nurture their relationship, fearing the pain of divorce later. When they prepare to leave for the shoot, she pulls her hand away. Tan Fong notices her distress. She explains that continuing to build their relationship feels unnecessary. On the drive, Tan Fong realizes her distress was likely caused by his definition of kinship. He asks her to define love versus kinship. She says she divides them based on blood relations, so he is a relative to her. Tan Fong smiles and clarifies his perspective. "The person who accompanies me to the end of my life is my love, isn't it?" He says his choice of love the night before meant choosing her. Relieved, Kwang Min agrees to try to make the marriage work. On the drive, Tan Fong realizes her distress was likely caused by his definition of kinship. He asks her to define love versus kinship. She says she divides them based on blood relations, so he is a relative to her. Tan Fong smiles and clarifies his perspective. "The person who accompanies me to the end of my life is my love, isn't it?" He says his choice of love the night before meant choosing her. Relieved, Kwang Min agrees to try to make the marriage work. At the Tan family estate, as they walk toward the main house, Kwang Min stumbles on the old stone path. Tan Fong steadies her, and she automatically says, "I'm fine, thank you, senior." Once in their room, Tan Fong immediately pins her against the door. Kwang Min is shocked, but his eyes are burning with a seductive intensity. He reminds her of their agreement. "Wife, we had an agreement. Once you say thank you, I will kiss you." He pulls her hand away from her mouth, holding it against the door. He leans in close, lowering his voice, "May I kiss you?" After a moment of paralyzed silence, Kwang Min nods lightly, determined to keep her promise to take a step forward with him. The instant she agrees, Tan Fong forcefully claims her soft lips. The kiss Tan Fong initiates is dominant and passionate, unlike the cautious one during their photo shoot. The moment their lips connect, Kwang Min is breathless, her body tense and her legs turning soft. Despite her initial nervousness, she doesn't dislike the feeling. When she gasps for air and parts her lips, Tan Fong seizes the opportunity, deepening the kiss. He is thoroughly in control, kissing her profoundly and affectionately. Kwang Min, completely inexperienced, is quickly overwhelmed and yields to his embrace. When she finally pulls away, desperately seeking air, Tan Fong trails his kisses down her cheek and along her beautiful, long neck before finally stopping. Both are flushed and disoriented. Kwang Min's heart pounds wildly, and she is so weak he has to hold her upright. Once they calm down, Tan Fong acts naturally, pulling her onto the sofa to look at her photo album. He wraps an arm around her back as they flip through her solo portraits. Kwang Min points out her favorite, a seductive shot of her in a white dress at a hot spring, which Tan Fong agrees is very attractive. He then focuses on a third framed photo of her holding an umbrella on a sunny day. She explains she hates the rain, so they chose a clear day for the shoot. Tan Fong, surprised to learn of her dislike for rain, asks if he can keep that photo for his office, declaring that a husband needs no reason to have his wife's picture. He then suggests they keep the other two seductive pictures for their bedroom, a subtle, possessive demand she accepts. Kwang Min then starts examining his monochromatic gray bedroom, which contains a large display cabinet filled with car models, certificates, and trophies. She realizes he is a highly accomplished person, noting his numerous first-place awards in various art competitions, including oil painting. When she asks about his specialization, Tan Fong tells her with a warm, intimate gaze that his best skill is portrait painting. That evening, at the Tan family dinner, Kwang Min and Tan Fong are subjected to pointed questions. Aunt Tu, Di asks when they plan to have a child. Kwang Min deftly handles the situation, referring to Tan Fong as Fong Gu, brother Fong, and explaining they need to focus on his company, Jingqing, and her studies first. Tan Fong is clearly delighted by the new form of address and lovingly serves her food. After dinner, Kwang Min witnesses cousins Tan Yao and Tan Hao fighting, which Tan Fong explains is over a woman. He shields Kwang Min from the brawl, and they leave soon after. Back home, Kwang Min finds Tan Fong at the bar, casually enjoying a drink. She joins him, and he accidentally gets the non-drinker drunk. Kwang Min is flushed and babbling, hugging the wine bottle. Tan Fong starts teasing her, holding the bottle just out of reach. He coaxes the inebriated Kwang Min to call him husband, Ong Xe, and say I love you in exchange for the wine. He records her adorable, slightly slurred confession on his phone. With the recording secured, Tan Fong pulls her close, forehead to forehead, and confesses with immense tenderness, I love you too, my wife. Kwang Min, I love you very much. He kisses her, and in her hazy, intoxicated state, Kwang Min makes an indistinct sound. She is unconsciously calling out, on, brother/him. The long kiss ends, and Tan Fong carries a flushed and sleepy Kwang Min to bed. She falls asleep instantly in his arms. He carefully tucks her in, kisses her forehead, and sighs, noting how much she trusts him. He, in turn, falls asleep holding her tightly. The next morning, Kwang Min wakes up remembering nothing. They spend the entire day busy with the final wedding shoot. That evening, as Tan Fong pours himself a drink, he casually asks if she wants some wine, which she declines, citing that she gets too drunk. He then drops a bombshell, you got drunk last night and called me husband, and even said I love you. Kwang Min is shocked and denies it, but Tan Fong plays the voice recording, husband, I love you. Her face instantly flushes crimson with embarrassment. While she reels from the shock, Tan Fong moves closer, traps her between his legs, and asks if she knows what happened after the confession. When she doesn't answer, she instinctively blurts out, Xin loi, em de lam en fien long. Sorry, I caused you trouble. Tan Feng immediately pulls her onto his leg and kisses her to stop her apology, reminding her of their kiss for thank you/sorry deal. He then assures her he is not bothered and, to her utter surprise, declares, "From now on, I've decided to tell you I love you every morning." Kwang Min pushes him away and flees to the bathroom. While bathing, she is still distracted by the revelations and slips, falling hard and crying out in pain. Tan Feng immediately breaks in, finding her on the floor wrapped in a towel. He is consumed with worry and carries her out, but she is too embarrassed to let him check her injuries and insists on getting dressed. Once she is dressed, he discovers her left ankle is swollen. He immediately calls his friend, Jiangxia, an orthopedic doctor, to come over. While waiting, Tan Feng carefully ices her ankle and then gently blow-dries her long hair. As he finishes, he embraces her from behind, rests his chin on her shoulder, and whispers, "You must learn to rely on me, to be assured and comfortable letting me take care of you. I am your husband, not someone else." Testing the new rule, Kwang Min quietly says, "Senior, I'm thirsty." Tan Feng smiles and teases, "Kiss me, and I'll get you water." Without warning, Kwang Min turns and gives him a quick, nervous kiss on the cheek. The moment their lips part, a surprised wow rings out from the doorway. Jiangxia and Changxi have just arrived.